This is Optibotimus coming at you with another video review, and today we're going to be taking a look at the new Transformers Prime Deluxe class Autobot Ratchet. And as you can see, it says Autobot Ratchet. Really nice picture right up there. Dual blade weapons, kind of cool. Transformers here on the hub. Flip around here on the side. Strength of a 6, so he's kind of weak unless he's, you know, coursing with special energon stuff. Intelligence of 9, skill of 10 though, so that's really kind of cool. Flip around here on the other side, Autobot Ratchet. It says Series 1, number 6. I thought this was Series 2, or Wave 2, I guess. And then you see other figures that are in the line right here. This is the Robots in Disguise one. I don't remember if I said that or not. You can see the other characters in Transformers Prime. You see Ratchet here in his robot mode, his ambulance mode, and a little bio there that says, just because Autobot Ratchet chooses to avoid fighting doesn't mean he's never learned how. His intimate knowledge of anatomy allows him to strike with surgical precision, making a fight against him very painful losing proposition. So, there you go. Really cool packaging. I do like how they're doing it now. I still kind of prefer the first edition ones more, but oh well. So let's get the guy open and see what we have. So here we have Ratchet in his vehicle mode, and honestly, it's really not that bad. When I first actually saw pictures of it, I was kind of like, the white looks like it needs a better paint job on it, and I know people are going to be like, it's white and the background's white, and we'll get over it. Overall, though, I really don't think it's all that terribly bad looking. I am more curious how the Takara one's gonna look, just in terms of the wash that they might put on here. But it's not too bad. You can see kind of some panel lines on here, which seems to be a commonality with Ratchet figures, at least with when you look at like the classic one. I mean, he had a lot of panels on here. This guy really is kind of like a puzzle former as well, much like that figure. You can see all the way through there, so I don't know if that would bug you or not. One of the biggest problems is he is really kind of tiny in this vehicle mode. Here's Ratchet, and here's Bulkhead, and obviously Bulkhead being a Voyager, I mean, he's going to be bigger. But I would just think an ambulance would be a little bit bigger. I mean, obviously, this would be a better looking figure, I think, if it was a Voyager size, as opposed to a Deluxe. But I don't think it looks all that terrible. I mean, it's definitely not proportionate, but it's not ridiculously horrible, at least I don't think. And here you have him next to the first edition Bumblebee, and his top's not all the way down. But, I mean, as you can see, this is a little bit more kind of extreme, I suppose. I don't know. I mean, Bumblebee's just kind of a weird-looking car, I guess. So it's definitely not in a proper scale, I suppose. It does come with these energon weapons. I forgot what it actually called it on the box, but they're very soft kind of rubber, which is kind of a consistent thing they're doing with these Transformer figures. They're making very soft rubber weapons, and you can take this and you can plug these in here, and I guess it doesn't really matter which way you point it, but I guess that probably will look a little bit better. And much like the Wheeljack figure, he's got these kind of weird, like, woolly mammoth tusk weapons going on here, which I don't know, that's kind of stupid, I think, but you got the holes right there for it. I do like the nice kind of silver paint job. I don't know if that's coming across very well on the camera. Now, it definitely is missing some paint details on here. I mean, I would really like to see some extra effort put into this, but again, I guess that's why we have Takara. So to transform them, just take this section here, fold this down, and like I said, this is a little bit kind of a puzzle former, so it's kind of a pain in the butt. This down here, you kind of have to unhook these, kind of wiggle this, and it really is the most difficult part of this transformation, getting these bits to come out, and then just kind of angle this up just like so. Come around here to the bottom, fold out these feet, kind of fold these down, and then you separate the legs like so. Then this rotates around. Well, get that out of the way. Rotates that around. Rotate that around. Like so. These bits come all the way back. Now the instructions, actually, again, good job Hasbro, really kind of suck on these instructions. They just show you to rotate them down like this. Here, then you fold the little feet out. And this is how they tell you to leave the legs, which looks really bad. They actually angle down further. You just have to push it a little bit. You can kind of sort of see in here. Let me zoom in for you. The way that this joint is, you bring it in and you see it shift over. So you get it all the way down, and it makes the legs look a whole lot better. You can see having them down here just looks better than having them dangle up here. I mean, they still do kind of stick out fairly far, but it's not too terrible. I think it's okay. And then come around here, and then these arms, you just pull these out, and these kind of separate from up here. Pull that out, just like so. Bring this down. So just kind of pull this, grab hold of his hand here, pull this all the way out. That rotates down. These rotate around, and you have his hands. And then rotate this around, and this folds in on itself. I really do like the way that these forearms actually transform. Really kind of cool. There you have that. And then because these deluxes are actually called revealers, although it doesn't say that anywhere on the package. The reveal gimmick for this is you take this and you bring this down, and his head pops out. I don't even know if you saw that. So you have it like this, and then you bring this down, and boom, there's his head. And then you just fold this back, and that tucks in there. And here you have Ratchet in his robot mode. And really, you know, again, this is a much nicer figure than I thought it was going to be. He is still kind of small, but he's not overall that bad. You have his weapons. Now, he can hold them like this, and you can have him have actual swords, or what the instructions also tell you that you can do is you can take the hand and you can fold it down. And one thing that's actually kind of neat is this little bit here is actually kind of grooved properly, where when you slide it in, if I can do it right, well, or maybe it goes this way. No, it goes like this. Or maybe I have it on the wrong hand. I don't know if they're, yeah, I guess I kind of did. You kind of have it form where his thumb is, so you can have a blade like this where it looks like it's coming out. I really actually like that. That really works very well on this, unlike a lot of the other figures that, you know, you fold in their hand and it kind of looks stupid. This actually works pretty well. I do really kind of like that. So he has his blade weapons that come out here. That's definitely nice. So get rid of these. In terms of his, yeah, I'll put these back up. In terms of his articulation, his head's kind of on a very small ball joint, and it's unfortunately hindered by these little bits here on the side. But a good range of motion right there. His face actually looks kind of cool. I know a lot of people are going to complain again because, you know, white background, white figure. Why don't you use a black background? Whatever. But you can see that. I mean, he's got really good light piping there. I really do like that. And I don't know if you can tell, but his face is actually painted silver. So that's really kind of cool. I do kind of wish that these little bits here on the side, he's got these little other antenna. Those are actually supposed to be red too in the show. So again, something that I hope Takara can actually fix later on. His arms up here, they're on ball joints. Up here at the shoulder, they also rotate at the bicep. They bend at the bicep, but they also bend down here at the elbow. So they have a lot of range of motion there. His wrists move forward and back so he can shake your hand, I guess. He does actually rotate at the waist, which is nice. That's always nice to see in a figure, waist articulation. Ball joint here at the hip. He bends at the knee. He rotates at the upper part of the thigh. He actually has two joints here at the knee, so you can kind of get that look going. I know these little bits here are a whole lot more pronounced in the show, and those are actually hard rubber, so that's kind of cool. His feet are actually, because of the way that the transformation works, his feet are already kind of on this angle where his legs are, you get a wide stance with them. I kind of like that. That gives a much more dynamic look to the figure, I suppose. Overall, very nice looking. I mean, there's not too much. I mean, other than the backs of his legs, this is actually a pretty clean figure, and I do actually really like the way he looks. But again, he is actually kind of small. Here you have Ratchet, and here you have him next to the first edition Voyager class Bulkhead. And again, Bulkhead's a Voyager figure, so I mean, naturally he's going to be a little bit smaller, but You know, in terms of a size scale, Ratchet really should be kind of about this big. So, I mean, it's not really terrible, and it works for me, but as you can see, I mean, there is a bit of a size difference, and, you know, I guess that's kind of unfortunate, but like I said, I don't think it's really all that bad. And for one final comparison, here you have them next to the first edition Bumblebee, and well, Bumblebee is just actually a little bit taller, so, I mean, this is definitely a worse looking scale, but, I mean, again, Ratchet really should be about here or so when it comes to him and Bumblebee. And I guess really, since I've shown, you know, all the other Autobots, here is a Voyager class Optimus Prime, the first edition, and the new RiD RC. So you can see that RC is smaller than he is, but there you go for the Autobots. Overall, actually, you know, pretty cool. Now to transform him back, just kind of lift this up, kind of have to tuck his head down, and that clips in there, and then bring this forward just like so. You can see where this would, like, you have to keep that kind of flush with that. That's where it's supposed to be, and it's going to be kind of on an angle like that. Then untab these these little forearm bits, rotate the hands all the way around, just like so. These kind of angle back, and this is kind of a this part here is a little bit tricky. You have to kind of angle this in, and then you have to bring that down like so, and then put. No, that was easier than I thought it was going to be. All right, don't pay attention to me. All right, there we go. Fold this up, fold this down, and I mean, the biggest part is you got this little bit right here that kind of gets in the way. You can fiddle around it, and you can actually get over it, but yeah, it's kind of a pain in the butt. And then bring these bits up underneath here. This is all twisted around, rotate that around just like so. Then these tab come up, and these tab on the side just like that. Then again, kind of keeping all this down, loosen this up, bring this up like so, rotate that kind of around. It's on like this extra hinge here, so you can kind of get that. Rotate this around, fold the foot bit out, or the heel bit, fold these all the way back, bring these together, and these are gonna clip together here in the front. Again, kind of keep that angle down. And this part is where it kind of gets a little bit annoying, but watch, it'll probably actually go real easy for me. No, see, already having some problems. Keeping that bent down, you have to bring these up, and yeah, like I said, I mean, all these little bits on here just kind of get in the way. There we go. Kind of angle that down like so, and then you actually have to take this little section here, like there's a little lip right here that actually goes underneath the top section of the roof. Then bring that up, and then bring that up, kind of squeeze everything together just like so. And the unfortunate thing is I can never really get that to close all the way. That kind of sucks. But here you have Ratchet back in his ambulance mode. Generally speaking, like, I mean, a lot of people know when I do reviews, I base it on how the vehicle mode looks, how the transformation, and how the robot mode looks. The vehicle mode doesn't look all that bad. It could look better, but I really think that the Takara version will fix a lot of these problems, which is going to kind of suck because that's going to be like 2 or 3 times the price of this one. So that's kind of lame. The transformation on it is not too terribly bad. It is a little bit fiddly, especially with these little bits right here, but the transformation is actually kind of fun. The legs are really kind of neat. I really like the way the forearms form, and the revealer gimmick is actually kind of neat, I suppose. And I really do actually like the robot mode. I think it's a good scale for him. I do think that a Voyager would look a little bit better, and hopefully we'll get one of those at some point in time. But overall, I really do actually like this figure. So I would definitely recommend picking them up whenever you can find them. I actually got mine off of the ToysRUs.com website. Him and RC went available for a real brief time, but then they sold out. But then after they sold out, we got a back order notice, and then after I got the back order notice, it actually shipped that same night. So I don't know what they're doing really, but keep your eyes open because these are going to be hitting pretty soon, I would imagine. So until next time, guys, thank you for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus. I'll talk to you later.